Hey, y'all, hey! Welcome to the PowerWomen podcast. This is the show where powerful women share their journeys, discuss how to solve powerful issues, and empower men who help us rise. I'm your host, Power Mom, Claire Brown.
Today's PowerWomen podcast is proudly sponsored by Cupid's Lingerie, Arkansas's premier lingerie and gift store. Love is in the air, y'all. Cupid's has everything you need, lingerie and much more. They have 6 central Arkansas locations, and you can shop online. Visit shopcupids.com and make your next date night the best one yet. Cupid's. Enjoy. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey. I'm so excited because today I get to talk so much about, first of all, my gratitude. Truly. And, you know, people always ask me how I do all the things and all the, everything. And this fills in another piece of the puzzle. So I'm so excited to introduce the women behind GWL.
That's us.
That's y'all. Yes. And so, for a couple of years, I did do all the things myself. And then as things have continued to grow, I reached out and Dan reached out as well. And you're a PR firm. You're an advertising agency. You do so many different things, and you're helping me on my journey. And I've been amazed, and it's been wonderful. And every time I'm in your presence and here with the company, it's literal joy, like pure joy for me. It's a playground. It's so much fun. So first of all, tell us your names, who you are, what you do, and all the things you want us to know.
So I'm Christy Vandergriff. I'm co-owner of GWL with Julie. So I also wear a lot of hats. I am still the creative director, and then co-owner and, running the day-to-day as well. So that's what I do.
I am Julie Barnett. I am also co-owner, as she told you. And I'm on different side. I'm on the account side. So the client side, the more the business side. But I'm same way. I still have my own accounts that I deal with. And then, in our spare time, we try and run a company.
Just a little bit of
here and there.
And we're longtime employees of GWL. So it stands for Gary Wayne Lay, which is who we purchased the company from almost 3 years ago.
Right.
So I've worked here almost 22 years.
Right.
And then is it 18 that you've been here?
We're coming up on it, yeah.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet.
And so
because you're only 12.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it's hard.
It is.
It's been hard working since birth.
It happens to so many of us.
But Julie and I worked together for a long time, and because I'm creative and she's accounts, we tag team a lot of accounts. So we've traveled together over the years. We've always worked very well together. So we had a great opportunity and
we took it.
Mm-hmm. So I want to dive into that actually, because I think that is something that so many women are experiencing and they don't know how to approach it. So purchasing a company, for one thing, is a journey in and of itself.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And then also, so many are male owned. And then approaching that conversation of it's male owned and then becoming woman owned, and that dynamic. And so how did that occur? What did that look like? How did you make it happen?
So we had been on the management of GWL for a long time, right? And Gary had always talked about that he wanted to retire and turn the company over, but there were a lot of different people in the mix at times. And honestly, we had to put our foot down and say, we will not do this with this person. We will not do, and we were very strong about who we would agree to partner with and how we would do it, because otherwise we weren't going to.
Right.
So the conversation existed for a long time with Gary. We didn't really know if it was ever going to happen. I mean, we had a backup plan.
Sure.
So.
And I do remember the day we signed the papers with him. I think it was the most nonchalant thing we've ever done. We went in, we signed all the paperwork with all the lawyers and everything. And then we got done and we're like, all right, well, I guess we'll go back to the office. And it was like, and then it took forever to be like, oh, we're like the dog that caught the car.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, oh my God, that really happened.
We had a lot of work to do, right? Because Gary was in his 70s, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, I want to give a lot of gratitude to him.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So he is, I mean, I started working for him when I was 22 years old. So, and I grew with the
Birth.
Yeah.
I mean, it
He's
happened.
like my dad.
Yeah, totally.
grew with the agency, and he gave me so many opportunities along the way. I don't think I would have been as successful because he was basically like, okay, go for it. Like I always had pretty much freedom as long as it was successful, right? To keep like the production house we started, all of it. And he basically just always turned me loose and let me go. And I don't think I would have succeeded in some other atmospheres where that wouldn't have happened.
Right.
And for him to have the faith in us to sell the company to us and then to make it so easy, right, with walking us through all the steps with his lawyer, et cetera. I mean, he's like a family member to us.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he is like a father figure to both of us.
Yeah.
We love him. We have traveled with him for years. We give him such a hard time. My favorite thing to do is embarrass him and talk about things that he is so uncomfortable
So
about.
easy to do.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done that actually.
Yeah.
With the things I discussed.
Mhm.
Absolutely. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
And he is so sweet.
He
Yeah.
is.
It's been my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is wonderful. He's obviously been wonderful to us.
Yeah.
So I agree with Christy.
But I also want to take a little credit along the way, too, and say we've worked really hard, right?
At softening that, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we all have work always, no
Mhm.
matter our age, no matter our season.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, coming into that role of leadership is a big shift.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you notice were your biggest opportunities of growth there?
To change the culture.
Yeah.
Right. So the business had a great reputation. We've always been highly focused on client service. We've always had a very strong creative team. But it was to change the culture within. Right. So when COVID hit, we had owned the company for about 5 months.
Oh.
Right. So I think that we
most.
had systems in place that we could automatically send everyone home. Right. And I think along with that, being more flexible, being more understanding of families, family time, it's a big deal to us that we spend our time here. We have some people that are remote as well,
Mm-hmm.
but balancing family and this is the most important thing we can do.
So I love that you touch on that because studies have shown that women excel in that because we already know how to juggle those crystal balls.
Mm-hmm.
It comes second nature to us. So having that inclination, that intuition to do that and lean into that is, like I just said, like it's second nature. It's not an adjustment for us. It is, okay, pivot, next.
Right.
It is not a problem. It is like, it's almost like, okay, I've just got to go get my hair trimmed, as to where, if you asked a man to do it, he would be like, oh my God, you're asking me to dye my hair blue?
Right.
It's that much of a contrast.
It really is.
Yes.
It really is.
And it is because of our nature versus nurture. We are nurturers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just in us. It is
Mhm.
how we are. So yes, we have been able to adjust, if you will, so much more so in that area. So we're going to come back and talk about your culture, which I love so much, the awards that you've received, the future, and then also what you've done for me.
Today's PowerWomen podcast is proudly sponsored by Cupid's Lingerie, Arkansas's premier lingerie and gift store. Love is in the air, y'all. Cupid's has everything you need, lingerie and much more. They have 6 central Arkansas locations, and you can shop online. Visit shopcupids.com and make your next date night the best one yet. Cupid's. Enjoy.
So y'all have received a few awards this year.
Yeah, we don't know what to do.
Wow.
Not really
What awards have we
normally-
received, Julie?
Okay. We have received the AY Best of the Best
Yeah.
ad agencies
Right.
in Little Rock.
Yeah.
And then we just found out last week
Mm-hmm.
about the Arkansas Money and Power.
Politics. Arkansas Money and Politics.
Can I start that over?
No.
Arkansas
it's okay.
Money and
We're good.
Politics.
Yeah.
The most admired agency in the state.
Very nice.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
It is really cool. I love that.
Now, we did try hard for the AY. Like, we all voted. We were all on board. We're
Well, of
like,
course.
okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
But not the other.
Oh, wow. That's
It
a
was
great
just
nod.
Yeah.
Given to us.
Lovely.
I know.
So it was important to me, I love doing business with other women. And it was very important to me to align with that. And obviously we did. But then you've been contributors to me and to my cause as well. And that's been huge. And my gratitude for that. I've not worked with a lot of companies and people that have been like that to me. And it's meant so much. And so, I do feel that does go into the culture of who you are, how you believe in your customers and your business. And so tell us about the culture of your company.
Well, what we do is a means to an end, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's twofold.
Mm-hmm.
With your organization was such an opportunity for us because your mission at the foundation is to lift other women up, right?
Yep.
And help carve a path that makes it easier. Because you're
Right.
right, we've all got so many balls up in the air, right? Yeah. So that means so much to us. And we fully believe in having a tribe. So, and then on the other hand, we're here for a means to an end, right? Which is to do good PR, good branding, good advertising, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we can do so much more. So it's about the people who are here and how it affects their families. And then how can we help others in the same token?
That's it.
So we have something we call GWL, which is every year, we support a lot of local charities.
We do.
Yeah, you sent me the list, and it's a full page.
But
Please don't ask me to recite that list because
No,
I did
I'm
forget my
not
notes.
going
But
to.
a lot of
but-
those come from GWL, which is where we give all of our team members a chance to pick a charity and help them,
Nice.
right? So with a small donation that
Sure,
comes from
sure.
us. But that's really what it's about, So sometimes advertising agencies are put in the same category as lawyers, and we bill by the hour. But here, it doesn't feel that way because it's not that way,
No,
right?
it's not.
What can we truly do to contribute?
Right. Yeah, it's the fruit of heart servant leadership. And that is so rare these days. I mean, we see that in every level of, what comes across our desks. And we see it on our TVs. We see it on our social media. And to actually see that list, I was blown away. I mean, it's a font size of 10, and it is a full page list. Yes, we serve in a community that has more 501c3 nonprofits than anywhere else in the country. So it is not difficult to find a source to give to. However, most choose, it's a choice. Most choose to not be givers. And then they don't give the opportunity to those that serve with them to give as well. And that's the biggest difference. And so, I can't imagine what that shift has been in your company culture.
Well, it's been amazing.
It has. And I do still think a lot of it comes back to the family first piece, just because, and I know that's, we're not necessarily donating to anybody's family per
Right.
se, but just them knowing that we care about what's near and dear to their
Yeah.
hearts is kind of our way of extending the family tree to them.
Right.
And from our perspective, everybody here, whether y'all like it or not, are all a part of our family.
Yeah. Well, it's also saying, I not only see you, I hear you, and I value what you value.
Yeah.
And that's so rare. And it's so important. The other thing you do that I love, it is my favorite, and you shared it with me when I just had to pop by, is you do company field day.
Oh, and we just had field day.
You're talking to two losers
Yeah.
here.
Oh!
Big old losers.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear the results of field day.
Yeah.
It's not really worth mentioning.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
going to drink my moonshine. By the way, I've never had moonshine in my life. I'm a virgin to the moonshine, even though I live in Arkansas. And y'all have provided me with my first
Well,
moonshine.
Dan specifically.
I'm really
Dan.
happy that we
Yeah.
just have that sitting around here.
Yeah.
It's in the freezer. Yeah.
In the freezer
Good.
that you have moonshine at your
Perfect.
office. Talk about culture.
That's good.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay, so field day is, so we're a competitive bunch of people, but we break up into teams, and we had 4 teams this year.
Oh my God.
And then
yeah.
we take the colors of our logo. Yeah. and we divide it out. And then we have our own marketing committee for us, which is wonderful.
Yes.
Blake heads that up, and Blake is amazing.
Shout out.
So he comes up with all the games, and I mean, like even these difficult puzzles that I just gave. I was like, you know what, we're last.
Oh, I sat in the back on that one. I was like, oh, good job, guys.
So it was a mix of brains and brawn this year.
I
And,
love that.
there's a lot of smack talking beforehand.
So good.
There was an amazing walk-up song for the pink team.
Navy team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the Navy team did a routine.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
With tear-off pants.
But I want you to know.
Stop!
Yes. Yeah. That the Navy team was third and the pink team was fourth. So next year.
Do you have any extra of those? I'm a single girl. I could use some tear-off pants. I'm just saying.
For
For extracurricular activities.
Katie, I think
They don't have those at
be
Cupid's that is sponsoring our
don't?
podcast.
Okay.
They should do that. They should sell some tear-off pants.
Yeah.
Anyways, we could
This
put
is
that
true.
in. Yeah, I'm saying.
And they worked like a gem.
They
really
good to
did.
know. There's a product review.
It was a whole
So
team.
winners that were not us of field day, they get bragging rights. They get a cool little etched tumbler and another PTO day.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Which
there's
is
some-
why I think it gets so competitive.
heck yeah.
Believe it or not, they want that more than the tumbler.
Shock.
figure. I don't know.
Who does that? I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I've seen the pictures, I've seen the videos. Like, this is top notch. And I know you're a company of givers. And so I made the recommendation that, like, you've got to give this away.
we have to talk Blake into coordinating it.
Well, that's, I'm sure I can help with that.
Yeah.
Then, like, you've got to give this away as an auction item for some nonprofit that,
Mm-hmm.
and then tell me about it so I can go buy it,
Yeah.
because I want to do this with my people.
Yeah.
It is.
But I need a slip and slide to be involved.
Yeah, I think that needs to
excellent
be
idea.
next
Yes.
year. We need that.
And you
agree.
know, to make a slip and slide really good, so this is summer, so you can use this, is to incorporate baby oil with it.
Oh, my goodness.
You're welcome.
I just saw a lawsuit.
Yes.
Julie, like, I see a lawsuit.
No. Sign waivers
Yes,
ahead
exactly.
of time.
Sign
it's
all the
all
waivers.
great. Yeah.
You're going to touch that. You're going to sign the waiver.
Yeah. Totally great. So it's amazing. And so tell me, you've been at this. So what have, and I love it when people ask me this about real estate. So what have been some of the fun and favorite clients? Don't you dare say me. And then what have been some of the funny stories?
Oh, my.
So I think we do have an automotive client in Huntsville who has 3 different dealerships, and we love him. I like to call him my boo. We like to have meetings. Gary still goes with us on those trips.
Nice.
We haven't gone as much because of COVID.
Sure.
We make him drive.
He drives us.
Okay.
You know that person that goes really slow on the interstate? That's him.
Love it.
But there's a hamburger joint. Where do we stop that we love? Abe's Grill.
Abe's Grill.
Corinth, Mississippi.
Mississippi,
So
yeah. Good job.
we make these like true road trips.
I wouldn't go into this place at first.
No, like we walked into the record scratched, and
I was
he
like, I'm
"Come
not
on,
doing this. I'm not eating
Best
here.
hamburgers and chocolate chip cookies in Mississippi.
I
So
wish I could eat all
yeah.
that.
So we really like that those dealerships are really
Right.
fun to work on, and a lot of our clients we've had for a really long time. We're talking over 15 years.
That says so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The retention rate
Yeah.
is huge.
Right. And so we've really diversified a lot over the past 3. That was one of our goals, right? We've got to diversify.
Right.
We're excellent at branding and branding packages and PR. So we've gotten a lot more involved in that aspect.
Yeah.
And I think with automotive inventory, it's really worked well for us, right? Because
Sure.
there's been inventory issues, which
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Automotive
know.
world is changing big time.
It is. Yeah. I hear about the inventory every day in my field.
Yeah.
We don't have any either.
right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
want to sell your house?
Yeah.
You want to move?
I just kind of went through all that
Yeah,
not
I
long
think that's
ago.
going to change pretty soon. though.
It is.
Mhm.
We're changing every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so where do you see the industry going? What's next?
I think brand is more important than ever. And I
agree
also
with that.
think, having a strong brand that people can easily understand what you do.
Mhm.
And also, I think your community focus has got to be big,
Yeah.
right? And I don't want to get off into the doldrums, but with the state of the world,
Yeah.
right? What you stand for and what you believe in, people need to know.
That's right.
Because there are some important choices that need to be made.
That's right.
Who you shop from and what you buy matters more now than ever.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So it can't always just be about what's the cheapest, right?
Yep.
What is the meaning behind
That's
that
it.
product or that company?
Absolutely. I'll never forget the podcast I did with 9 Black women during the Black Lives Matter movement, which was fascinating and amazing and so impactful for me personally. My biggest takeaway from them was if you disagree with someone, your biggest impact is to take away your money
Mm-hmm.
and then to invest it with those you align with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I've taken that with me with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a huge lesson. And so I totally hear that and I agree with that. And I love that you're saying that. And so if someone's thinking, I don't know who hires that company or what, how do you know that you need that in your business, in your world? So who hires you? How do you know that's your next step to make the call to GWL?
I think, and this is just from like the account side, I think most of the calls we get is owners of different businesses and they've been trying to do it all themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And they've gotten their business to a point where it's either taken off or there's so many different aspects to it, it just gets to be too much. And I think that's at the point they're like, okay, I might need to look at an agency, to take some of this off my plate. And we do truly try to make it an easier process on people rather than a thorn in anybody's side.
Right.
So from anybody I can think of recently, it's just gotten to be too much.
Well, it's they need their website needs to be updated, right? It needs to look more professional. And then all the channels associated with that, the digital channels need to connect, right? And then you have to have consistent messaging across all of those channels. But then we also help you figure out, when we did your brand story, right?
Yes.
And when we interviewed you and all of your stakeholders, and then we presented you with, this is what you told us.
Right.
Which would have taken, if it were me, months to compile, if I would have ever sat down and done it.
Right.
But then we can take that burden off of you and say, this is who you are.
Yeah.
That we listened, right?
Yes.
This is who you are. This is who your clients are.
Right.
And here's how we need to market it.
Right. And by the way, when you did that and revealed it to me, I just sobbed. I did. I just cried. It was everything I had journaled about for 4 years, coming to life, visually, animated, everything. And it was things that I hadn't even thought about or dreamed about. And it was there. And it was just so overwhelming for me. So much of it I keep to myself. And I don't share. And I'm going to get emotional again. And it's just like I wouldn't be wearing this shirt, this hat, if it weren't for the two of you. And it's just, and like, I'll never forget you saying to me as a business owner, I said, because I made the comment, I said, I don't think you understand. And you said, as a business owner, I think I do. And I said, no, you don't. Because all of this started with me journaling at midnight in my bed with just a dream. And I never thought in a million years that any of this would come to fruition. And I surely never thought that anyone else would see it. And then I never thought that anyone else would believe it and then believe in me and take it to another level. And then to have that, I've never experienced it from anyone in my life. And I'm so grateful. More than you both will ever know.
Can't look at her.
Thank you more than you'll ever know.
You're
for your
more
gifts,
welcome.
for sharing them, for being my partners in my corner, and for your time, not just here, but every day.
Well, you're more welcome than you will ever know.
And it's been a pleasure for us, right?
Yeah.
Because we
it has.
truly believe. We believe in this.
I know.
And we believe in you. And
know
we were
that.
like, where do we sign up? Let's
I
do
know.
it, right?
I know. And you've both been in the PowerWomen platform.
I was just going to say that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I've been in there for
years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just amazing, the connectivity and how it all comes full circle.
It does come full circle.
And
Things
I've
happen
said
for a reason.
so many times how I'm merely a vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so grateful for you pouring into me. So thank you.
Well, we're thankful for the partnership.
No, absolutely. And I mean, as you know, when we did the brand story, I wasn't even a part of that meeting. I just kind of popped in to have a glass of champagne with you.
Yes.
And then next thing I knew, I was not going to leave that meeting by any means. I'm like, and I rode that high for I can't tell you how long. So it was amazing to be a part of that.
Yeah. I mean, truly, you're a gift. And I can't explain that more. I truly can't. So thank you.
Well, we love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like the show, please rate and review on iTunes. And check out our website, thepowerwomen.org.